You know, when I was at school, I went to one of these schools. If you've read Dickens' Dotheboys Hall, you know, I went to the bad version of that. You know, it was a really lousy school where history was taught in the way that we were meant to regard earlier generations as kind of, you know, simians, monkeys who are more primitive than we are. And I was never very happy with that. And I always loved history, but I wanted to get to know the people. So I started just on my own reading historians from Roman times, Tacitus and Suetonius and people like that. And then I read Robert Graves, who's one of my favourite writers, the great I Claudius and Claudius the God books. And I came to the conclusion that actually people from 2,000 years ago are very like us. And there's a lot of resonance between then and now. And in the Costa books, what I try to do is to take out a bit of the past and make it bounce against a bit of the present, so that you think, well, actually, you know, we are still wrestling with those same issues and those same problems. And as a race, we are still as intelligent and as dumb, as self-sacrificing and as cruel as we were 2,000 years ago. And I think that kind of is my picture of the world at the moment. I write about Romans, and I've spent so much time in Rome over the years that I think I have a view of the Roman character. And I deliberately set those stories in Rome because Romans are larger than life. You know, they are people who, you will sit next to a stranger on a bus and he will turn around and tell you what he thinks of your jacket. You know, they are very, very forthcoming people. So I like writing about people who are forthright like that. So that gives me a kind of starting point. Characters start to define themselves after a little while, you know. I think, in many ways, I think an author is the god of that particular world, but when it starts to work is when your characters realise they've got free will and turn around and say, well, no, I'm not going to go there and do that. That's the bit that I really like in a book, is when I'm trying to paint them into a corner and I can hear them saying in my head, no, I'm not going to go there. And that's when you know you've got it real.